I could taste the bile in my throat. My head burned from the fear. "Bill, now!" I felt Brad pulling on my shoulder, but I was drawn to the show in front of me. What is this monster? It looked tall and weary, like a shadow itself, but its head was huge. It thrust at the machine with claws that glistened in the light. Suddenly the machine came to life, lighting up the surrounding area with a sleepy yellow glow. Large teeth reflected in the illumination, like a dream coming to life, a nightmare coming to life. The machine battered it and cracked it to life like a beast of the other kind, and it began vomiting all over the ground right where we had been standing. Out of the giant open pipe came the thick black liquid. It poured out quickly, flooding in all corners of the room. The demon roared again. "Bill!" This time it was Constance, and hearing her voice sound so loud and so angry, I was jolted back to reality. I turned and ran to her, with Brand close behind. We ran for the exit and up the stairs, the sound of the war still echoing in my ears, mixing with the sound of my blood, rushing in my head and my heart racing. It was a cacophony of noise. The pain in my foot snagged its way up my leg like a lightning strike. I heard the other roar from behind us. It made me take the stairs 2 at a time, sweat now dripping down my forehead. I looked back and saw these shadows chasing us, climbing up the walls like vines. The black goo was falling at the bottom of the stairs, slowly rising. If we were eaten alive by the beast, then we might be very well drowned. The secret door was closed at the top of the steps, but I knew how to open it. There was a small button hidden in the shadow of the corner. I see Mr. Connor push it on our way out. I reached out with my shaking hand and pushed it. I heard gears gritting. It sounded off. Something was wrong. "This isn't right," I said, more to myself than anything. I fiercely shoved aside my rising panic to focus on solving the problem. I wiped the sweat from my brow. "I have a wrench to open to follow you," said Brand, patting at my side. "That might have done something." I looked at him. I could only see him faintly in the shadowy dark. There was no time to point fingers, but I really wanted to. Why would he do this to us? What was he thinking? I turned back to the button and felt around it. There had to be a panel of some kind. "It's rising," said Constance, a desperate edge to her voice. "I know," I replied, trying to stay calm but trembling all the same. I got on my knees and traced my head over the wall all the way down to the floor, trying to feel for anything at all. There had to be something. My finger caught on the vert and pushed. The panel moved under my hand. I quickly removed it. My eyes were adjusting to the dark, but the dark was leaching more and more light. From the air I couldn't see. I just went for it and reached my hand into the small hole in the dark. I felt around and came to the lever. My heart stopped, and I remember earlier a similar lever. Spray of black wet. I could do this. I have to do this. I pulled down hard, more grating sound, and then the clank. "It's opening," said Constance. "I got it," added Brant. I stood up and see the door open just enough to fit a single body through. Brant was straining to keep it that wide in the first place. "Constance, go," he ordered, and he looked at the both of us before sleeping through. "I can help," she said from the other side, her gloved hands appearing round the of the door, pulling at it from her side. "Bill, come on," said Brant, his voice now straining in the effort. I just stared at him, then at the door. I heard the gears grating. I could even smell the frictions of the metal on metal. The thought of the door slamming shut, slamming into the body, crushing it. "Bill!" I found myself through the door. Just like so many other moments, I lost my mind. I was just there. "Bill!" But this time it was Constance. She was still tempting to brace the door open with Brant. I immediately joined her, grabbing hard while the door pushed back with all its might against us. We weren't strong enough for this. It was only thanks to the grace of some gears the door was open this much at all. "Brant, you had to jump through," said Constance. Her voice strained it. "You had to do it now," I added, the smell of burning filling the air. Brant took a deep breath and nodded. I felt the door pushing into my hands hard now. I heard the other clang, and suddenly there was a sickly weight against my palms. Constance cried out, but didn't let go. He had to do it now. Brant jumped. There was a loud clang, and instantly grabbed Constance and pulled her away as the door mechanism some control. We fell onto the ground, and I stayed there for a moment, padding hard, feeling the sting in my palms and in my ankle. "Brant!" I sat up and turned to see Constance on the ground, pulling at Brant by the door. I stood and scrambled over, and then stopped at the scene before me. Brand's torso stuck out through the door, his bottom half trapped on the other side. The door was crushing him. If we didn't do something, if we didn't help him. Constance, stop, he said, wheezing. The landing was brightly lit. Being able to see so clearly almost felt like too much, but it made finding the opposite panel much easier on this side. I could even saw what was behind it. I found the same lever. It was loose to touch. Moving, it did nothing. I looked past it further into the darkness of the wall, as though the large brace above then would stop, slight start on it. I hit it with all my might. The grinning stopped. The smell of the metal lingered in the air. I felt my body go limp with relief. Brant, stay with us, cried Constance. Please, Brant, stay with us.